Our goal this year is to achieve around 73 million pounds in revenue. I'm very happy where we are. We do need to do some more work to make sure we will fulfill our 25 order book, which we are doing. There's lots of good opportunities on the line.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is hVivo Chief Executive Mo Khan. Mo, very good to speak with you, and congratulations on your full year 2024 results. Another period of record revenues and EBITDA. Tell us more.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on in the first place. So absolutely, 2024 was a transformational year for the company. We increased revenue by around 12% to just under 63 million pounds. We achieved an EBITDA margin of 26%. That's around an EBITDA of around 60 million pounds. It did include a one-off facility fee for last year, but the underlying EBITDA margin still would have been around 23%. So it's a very healthy margin. In fact, it's a record margin for the company this year. We also saw an increase in 33% in the basic adjusted EPS as well. And we generated a good amount of cash, and we ended up around 44 million pounds of cash by the end of December last year. So financially, we hit or beat all of our numbers, which was great. And this has all been based on record number of inoculations, us exposing healthy volunteers to viruses. We ran 9 challenge trials. We signed the largest lab contract. We ran our largest field study to date. We developed a number of new challenge models. We launched new service lines, including the lab and the field studies I mentioned. We moved to a new human challenge trial facility here in Canary Wharf. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone at hVivo for the fact that they not only delivered such great financial numbers, they also delivered it in a time period where they transformed the foundation of the company from having 3 or 4 smaller facilities into one larger, bigger, fit-for-purpose facility here at Canary Wharf.
You certainly delivered on your growth strategy to optimize, scale, and diversify the business in 2024 and into 2025. Could you give us a quick overview?
Absolutely. I think those 3 words describe quite concisely our business strategy and what we have been doing in the last couple of years and what we plan to do going forward. So I'll take each one at a time. So first was optimize. So we've now here moved into the world's first purpose-built human challenge trial facility of its size, and it fits our needs. We built it from the ground up with regards to what we needed in a facility like this. So as an example, we have a 2-way call system. This may seem trivial, but in our previous facilities, every time one of our healthy volunteers needed an attention from our nurse or doctors, they would knock on the door and our staff would put on the full PPE gear and then enter the room for infection control. Now it's basically a 2-way system, so all inquiries can be met much more efficiently, and without the clinician having to, turn to the full PPE gear and opening the door, so which is really good. We also have a new pneumatic chute system, which I'm proud of because it means that we can transport the blood samples from the healthy volunteers to the lab, which is 1 story down, within seconds. And previously, because our facilities were on multiple floors in different buildings, we used to have some of our lab guys, carry some dry ice and walk across the road and put the tubes into the box and then bring them back to the lab. So all these little things make a difference. It means that we can offer a much higher quality, much more efficient service to our clients. We also launched a couple of new systems. So we've automated even further our volunteer management system. We've introduced our LIMS, or laboratory information management system, this year as well. So all of those help to optimize what we deliver. On the scale side, where we moved to a 50-bed facility, it has the capability to run CL3 pathogens such as Omicron, for example. We've doubled our lab capacity. We doubled the outpatient facility in Plumbers Row. We've also added more challenge trials to our models. And as you know, we recently acquired CRS, so we added 120 beds in Germany. We also acquired a small company called CryoStore for biospecimen storage, and they've brought on 32 additional freezers. So we can see for each of the different service lines, we're adding and bolstering the capacity we are able to offer. The diversification point is the final point. So we are adding more challenge models to our human challenge trial portfolio. So this does diversify what we're offering. So, for example, we are launching Omicron this year. We're also launching HMPV challenge models. So it gives us access to customers who we may not have worked with in the past because we didn't work in these indications. So that's great for us. We've also signed the LOI for our first ever phase 3 human challenge trial. We signed the largest lab contract. We conducted the largest site study, as I mentioned. And with CRS, we're adding new capabilities in running phase 1 first human clinical trials, as well as phase 2 trials in new therapeutic areas that we didn't have any real expertise in, such as cardiometabolic or dermatology, diabetes, and so on. So yes, so on the 3 points you mentioned, we have tangible points that we can highlight where we've made a difference.
Just going back to CRS, how's the integration of CRS, Mannheim, and Kiel into the wider group going?
It's going well. I mean, it's been just over 2 months, but it seems like a year almost, because the amount of work that the team has already undertaken has been substantial. I mean, I'm not saying the job is done, nowhere near. We got a lot more work to go forward, but we acquired CRS at a fantastic price, and the CRS team has been absolutely wonderful in their kind of motivation to integrate within the larger hVIVO group. So we've finalized the integration plan. We've done some additional audits. Thankfully, no new surprises. So we know what we acquired, and things are going as planned. The new reporting line has already been established. The sales and marketing teams are now merged into one. We've also identified just under €1 million worth of savings already. And as we go forward and look at the pipeline, we've identified around €1.6 million of services in the CRS pipeline that could convert into Venn Life Sciences if those studies are awarded. So yeah, so very eager, very pleased to have the CRS team on board, and so far it's been wonderful working with them.
How about the integration of CryoStore? How's that progressing?
Well, that's much simpler. Yeah, so it's one single site, 3 employees. So the integration process is much simpler. We've also worked with CryoStore for over 15-20 years, so we know exactly what services they offer and what they do. So we're really looking to see how can we add kind of more work to them. So one of the key areas where we would have invested in already, when we first acquired them, would be in sales and marketing. So the marketing team is pushing the messaging from CryoStore. We've also hired a new salesperson to dedicate their efforts on selling hLab services, and CryoStore fits under the hLab banner. So we expect to see growth in the CryoStore business going forward.
I'm sorry to see that hVIVO chair Carl Friel is not going to be seeking re-election at this year's AGM. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sad news. End of an era, to be honest. It was Carl's vision to bring, at that time, 2 loss-making companies, Venn Life Sciences and hVIVO, together to form Open, who eventually changed their name back to hVIVO. And through his vision and through his hard work, he's been able to turn those companies into what's now a long-term sustainable model. I mean, we've grown our revenue base over the last 3 years. We've increased our EBITDA margins over the last 3 years. So yeah, I mean, I just want to take this opportunity to thank Carl for all his efforts. And I mean, I also want to kind of reiterate that at one point in the past, he took personal risk in making sure that the companies continue as a viable entity. So it's with his efforts and the rest of the team, of course, and the board, who've done so well into bringing the company to where it is now. And Carl has decided now to kind of move forward, and he will not stand up for re-election. So we'll definitely miss him. I mean, Carl hired me in the first place, so I worked with him the last 3 years. So I thank him for everything he has done to date. The nomination committee is now in the process of identifying some new candidates, and hopefully in the near future we will have a new chairman or chairperson.
Some investors may have some concerns regarding the current biotech funding environments and impacts of current changes in the FDA. How are you addressing these?
Yeah, and to be honest, it's a viable concern. I mean, these days, especially with the recent tariff news, the markets are in a little bit of a turmoil. So it's difficult for me to say, well, everything is, smooth sailing. It's not. There are concerns about the markets, but in the short term, I don't think there are any long-term concerns. So we have been quite well protected. So for one thing, for example, we have a good big pharma client base who are generally more stable and have long-term funding to run human challenge trials. On the biotech side, I think we saw this in the second half of last year, where we saw reduced signings. So we had the opportunities that were open, but clients were signing. I think in September last year, I identified around 40 million pounds worth of opportunity that we were looking to sign in the near term, and I'm pleased to say that we have signed all of them bar one, which is the Iliad opportunity, where we signed the letter of intent. So from our business model point of view, I think we are in a good place. With regards to the anti-vaxxer and the FDA sentiment, so you have to remember, vaccines are important for treating proactively diseases, but if the vaccine usage drops, what you will inevitably see is increase in viral diseases, and our human challenge trial model is equally capable in determining the efficacy of antivirals. So a lot of our trials we run are in antivirals. So I don't see Arch being impacted much either way, because either we will do the vaccine trials or we would do the antiviral trials.
Looking ahead, Mo, how's your order book and pipeline shaping up for 2025 and beyond?
Looking good. So even though we recognized record revenue last year, we still sat on an order book, a weighted order book of around 67 million pounds at the end of last year. Since then, we have signed a few deals. So we've seen a good conversion from open opportunities into signatures. Our goal this year is to achieve around 73 million pounds in revenue. I'm very happy where we are. We do need to do some more work to make sure we will fulfill our 25 order book, which we are doing. There's lots of good opportunities on the line, but with the diversification, with the signing of hopefully of Iliad coming soon, a new bacterial model phase 3 challenge trial, I think we should be in a good place. And I'm confident still that we'll get to 100 million pound in revenue by 2025.
I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress with that. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.
Mo Khan, Chief Executive of hVivo.